All right, we got somebody coming in. Thanks a lot for joining. We're just celebrating 3,000 people having subscribed, and we're going to get into some things here. We're just about to share the screen and take a look. Let's see. I think I can share. All right, and no copyright problems because I'm sharing my own video. All right, so again, 3,000 subscribers review that we're going through, 3,000 subscribers celebration that we're having right now. We'll probably clip this little piece in. 3,000 subscriber celebration. Thank you all for all who have joined. I've also just reapplied for monetization to see if that'll happen this time after editing my page from my previous application. They were saying I was using too many things, me not being on camera enough or whatever nonsense they were going by. And then we are now going to take another look at this article or this video that we did on the article from the New York Times. Men, where have you gone? Please come back. Let's take a listen to our own work here. Bachi 2007 back at you with another one. We're going to take a look at this article that has been going around the internet, mostly in the white men's spaces, or what I call the white sphere, but not so much in the Negro sphere, the black men's space, so strongly, even though I've seen it once or twice in the black men's space. But it's this article from the New York Times. Men, where have you gone? Back. They're literally begging now. We've seen this in some videos recently, a number of videos around the web, and now they're putting it in mainstream media in article titles, and it is the content of the article as well, as we'll see that they are really begging men to come back. So we're going to look at Passport OG. This is one of the black content creators who the first one that I saw who actually brought it up, and we're going to take a listen to what he has to say on the topic to start us off.
New York Times article from June 20, 2025 reads, Men, where have you gone? Please come back. So many men have retreated from intimacy, hiding behind firewalls, filters, and curated personas, dabbling in scrolling. We miss you. If you follow my channel for a while, you know May 17, a warm Saturday night in Wicker Park, a vibrant stretch of Chicago where 7 restaurants crowd a single block. Troy and I were having dinner at Mama Dahlia, one of the quiet.
All right, so then we're just going to start off and talk about some further things than what we talked about previously. The fact that when the woman goes into this and tries to do woo men back again, she gets into this whole thing where she only talks about the fact that women miss men and want us back out into the public life or into be a part of women's spaces and spaces where women congregate. They want men to be there to provide women with intimacy. Nowhere in this article does she ever discuss about what women are going to do or what women are going to provide men or why men should want to be back in spaces with women or to be in intimate relationships and intimate kind of disposition and intimate exchanges with women. Why? And when we say intimate, we don't mean sexual. That hasn't stopped at all. Uh, sexism hasn't gone anywhere as far as the promiscuity in society. But what has gone is that intimate interpersonal connection, the relationships, uh, the commitment in the long term. Well, women broke all of those commitments, right? Men have been offering commitment for time immemorial. And it was women who stood up and said, we no longer want to be part of commitment because we can go out here in the street, we can gather up bodies. And in doing so, it's empowering because now we can be like men and we don't need men. What are men good for? And all this sort of thing and they begin to break up homes and now they get divorced well 80 now they don't get divorced at 80%, but out of the 50% of marriages that do go to divorce here in most of the west, they women file for divorce about 75% of the time. So they're the ones constantly breaking marriages, constantly breaking vows and commitments, coming on the internet, celebrating their divorce and giving ridiculous reasons why, because I wasn't happy, it no longer served me. Again, the institution of marriage is, in their minds, about being self-served and has nothing to do with commitment, honor, covenant before God, them serving their family. They don't care anything about the well-being of their children. I just saw a thing with Charlize Theron today talking about how she's living her single motherhood life and doing motherhood the way she wants to. And if it's damaging to her kids, oh well, that's their story to tell later. But she's enjoying her life, so who cares, basically? The hell with the kids. And this is women's disposition in general in most society. So men uh, have stepped away from this, decided that this was foolishness, and women haven't been giving men much of any reason to come back other than just talking a lot of nonsense. But let's hear a little bit more, then we'll talk a little bit more about it.
Spots. The sidewalk patio held 5 tables, 3 two-tops, including ours, and a pair pulled together for a group of 8 women. At those tables, Troy was the only man.
So he goes through all of that and he gets to this part. Yes, of course, Troy was, this guy was the one man there. What are men coming out to be a part of? What are men coming out to partake in if women are still remaining the same ways and dispositions that drove men away in the first place haven't changed. In this article, she offers no change. She just demands that men show back up and shows back up because women miss us. So again, everything is centered around women and their benefit. They're still not trying to understand men or care about what men need and what men desire and what reasons should a man have to re-engage in intimate relationships with modern women. The same thing that drove men away, nothing has changed. So how does it make any sense to re-engage? If you don't mind hitting the like button as you come in, that would be great. Really appreciate that. Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews. I've actually officially now changed the name of the page. I've been using this moniker, as you can see it on the screen here. I've been using that more and more lately. And now on the channel, the page name has actually changed to Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews, and my handle is now Men's Mind State because that's where we're moving. We're going to, well, not just that, it's where we've been, but now we're going to lean into that as the moniker of the channel. Celebrate 3,000 reviews, 3,000 subscribers. Appreciate everyone who's subscribed. Let's see, let me pull up that moniker. I have it here somewhere. Gonna throw that up on the screen for a moment while we talk about it. And let's get back to manipulating all these pieces on the screen. Okay, so I'm going to share that if I can. Let's see if it's one of the items listed here. No, I don't see it on my list. That's all right. Anyway, we see it. We see it here in conjunction with the video. So, so again, in this article, she's not giving anything substantive or substantial that should make men want to come back and participate in this gynocracy. So they're saying that she says one part of the article that men are being muted, that they're choosing to stand mute. But wasn't it women that told us to stop mansplaining and that we should just shut up and listen? Well, men did you one better. They shut up and they shut it up and went away. And men are choosing the peace. Men are choosing to do things like what I just got back from the gym, focusing on my self improvement and the betterment of my life and things that benefit me, that make me feel good, that provide us with confidence. And this is kind of one of the main things that I push with men. Uh, in some of the videos that I've done recently, I talked about this Brian Koberger who was just chose to plead guilty in the case where he murdered those people in Idaho. Let me see if I can go to that one. Now, in stream, I want to share something different. Then, Microsoft. Huh. So Brian Kohlberger chose to uh, plead guilty in the situation
killing spree that left
where he killed all of those. He killed those 3 co-eds and and the male student at Idaho in Idaho. I think they went to Idaho State, if I can recall right. And I was kind of talking about how some guys get to this point to where they start to feel the need to uh, kind of go inside themselves and retreat from society. And this is, of course, a most exaggerated case where he chose. Huh, I am missing something here. Ah, so I don't know what happened to my live. Am I still live? I can't find the live. Well, this is kind of turning out to be a mess. Hmm. Oh well. Looks like my live died. I don't know what happened, or I don't know if you all are still out there, and I'm just not able to see it on my screen. But yeah, Kohlberger just started. He went to, I think, the deepest end of things, but he has sociopathic tendencies, so that's part of the problem with him. So for most guys, you're not going to go to this extent, right? Because you're not a sociopath. But a lot of men fall into a lesser degree of the same situation where they decide that, all right, so women don't like me. I'm not getting the results out of society that I want. So I'm going to go into a hole. I'm just going to play video games all day. I'm going to get fat and chubby, and I'm just going to allow my life to devolve into nothingness, and I'm just going to retreat from society altogether. And I'm not going to be involved in any kind of way. I'm just going to give up on, ever having a family. I'm not even going to satisfy my sexual needs. I'm just not going to be involved at all. And my kind of point is, and what I promote to men is that you shouldn't allow women to drive you into that. You shouldn't allow women to drive you to a point where you make the decision that you're not going to go after what you want in life or go after any of your dreams. Instead, what you should be doing is building yourself up to be the best man that you could be, where you will have leverage to gain the things out of life that you want to gain. And though you might not immediately, it's not something as simple as, okay, you go hit the gym or you get the next job and your money increases a little bit, and then all of a sudden everything just starts coming to you. No, but there's a process to it, and it's a continuous process that you have to improve yourself on all fronts. The greater you improve yourself, the greater confidence you have, the better you look, the healthier and stronger and fitter you are, the more you're working on developing yourself financially, not just immediately, but a long-term financial growth and prospects, the better position of leverage you put yourself in to drive the ship. And rather than retreating from society because of these women, you should be leaning forward on building yourself up so that you have your position of leverage in society. And so then you could either uh, deal with the women who are willing to get on program that are here in the West, where you will have a position of leverage, where you can move women to get on program, where you can stand with confidence, not put up with any of their foolishness, state your position, your standards, your program, and you either demand that they cooperate or you walk away. And that's one of the main things that men have to develop the power to walk away. It's like one of the greatest negotiation tools. If you look at people who do high price, high volume negotiations for major assets, what they'll tell you is the power to walk away is one of your greatest pieces of leverage. This goes likewise in relationships with women or in any other kind of thing that you're negotiating in life, quite frankly, of any kind of value of substance. Your ability and willingness to walk away and not bow and kowtow to a woman just to keep her around. If a woman, if she's not getting on program, if she's not the type of woman that you really want, you should be quite willing to let her go. You shouldn't be sticking around for disrespect. And I've told this story a few times. I exercised this power in my own life a few years ago where I was dating this chick. Again, she was one of the, as far as, especially as far as body goes, one of the baddest chicks I had ever been with. And but we really did have a connection on one level, but I think she was like bipolar, quite frankly. And she had this kind of nasty streak underneath. She was really sweet when she wanted to be, but she also had this nasty streak underneath. And she just kept on with the mouth and talking to me crazy and starting these arguments for no reason. And that last night when I went over to her house to see her, and trying to see what was up with her, what's going on, and she's giving me attitude off the top. I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to see you, and you got an attitude." And she said something slick one last time, and it was the last time. And I turned and walked away from her while she was talking. She started saying, "I didn't mean to," and I just kept going. And the willingness to let go of something that we had a really strong connection. I really wanted that to work, but in the end, I want my respect and dignity more than I want anything from any woman. So when you walk away from that kind of foolishness, you gain your power as a man, and you have the opportunity to continue to until you find the one that is going to get on program. And I came to after that be able to acquire women who were willing to follow lead, who were willing to be in order, who want that leadership. And I'm even quicker now to put my foot down, check any foolishness off top. I was letting a little bit slide in that situation until I got to the point where I wasn't letting it slide anymore. But now it's just off top. I don't let it slide to begin with. And that's kind of something you can build and establish it with yourself to where you're going to build yourself up to get the kind of women you want if you stay on point with that. But yeah, for anyone in the room, definitely go ahead and like me up while you're in here. If you're in the building, Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews, formerly Yobachi 2007. I'm still Yobachi 2007, but we've got to 3,000 subscribers, and I said I would start upgrading my channel once I hit 3,000. So we're starting with going ahead and making that official name change to Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews, which I've been using in a lot of the videos as my placard in there. Now it is the official page name. You can also see it down here. It's already updated, and we're going to be rocking with that. And also, I'm going to be upgrading on some of the equipment and my production values as things move forward. Hopefully, YouTube will stop tripping and they'll go ahead and monetize me this time, where I've reapplied a couple of days ago. So I appreciate you guys. I'm actually up to 3,001 as last I looked. 3,001 subscribers. So I hope the subscribers keep coming. I've gotten like 9 in the last just a few days. So we appreciate you coming over here. So let's listen to some more of this video that I did previously. Yeah, quiet confidence. I found that funny the first time I read it. It's funny again. If they were so confident and so happy with the situation, they wouldn't be writing articles like this begging men to come back. They're literally on here begging. And we could see various videos online of them begging. No, they're cooked, is what it is. And men are doing a great job. What a lot of us are doing, we're going to places where we're celebrated, or we're just doing things again in our own lives to build up our own situation. Again, that's what I've been doing, and it's been working for me fabulously. So income continuing to go up, uh, and my physical fitness and my willingness and desire to, or my ability to lay down the law and dealing with women, strengthening. And so I'm getting better and better qualities of women as that has happened. That is the key. So when you come to the table with your value intact, then you can attract, pull, and retain better value in women. Of course, there are also the man's option, which is men's option is to go overseas for better women. I've both done that, and I've taken to, as of late, dealing with women from overseas who are local as far as the women I date when I'm in country. and that has also been a great boon for me. And you get even hotter women who are both hotter but are also sweeter, uh, better mind state, more respectful. All of that works in your favor. But beyond that, beyond worrying about women, what you're doing is you're just building your life to have the life that you want, to financially position yourself to be in the best place as you get older, that you don't ever want to be in positions where, I've been in some financial situations the last year, got laid off a little over a year ago, but I never missed a beat because I had things financially in place to where God bless me. I could still pay all my bills, even for that only 1 month where I didn't work. And then when I did get a job, my first contract, it wasn't a full time contract. It was like 26 hours a week. And even with that, I could still pay everything without missing a beat because I had so much savings. Uh, Basically, that money I got in those 26 hours pretty much covered everything for a while. Then I got another contract. I started a LLC, uh, got another contract on top of that, had a contract plus a job and all these kinds of things, and was stacking up money and all those sorts of things, and got the highest paid job I've ever had, even after being laid off. That's like the second. See, it wasn't a layoff. The other time I had left the job because uh, it was getting pretty bad there. But every time I've left a job, almost, whether it's because I left it or got laid, it was a layoff. I've increased my income substantially. I think all but one time. So this was another substantial increase. So now my floor of what I will accept for the next job is already higher. So and that's what I've done every time I've gone back out on the market. And so positioning yourself, gaining skills, gaining knowledge, getting credentials, doing all those kinds of things that position yourself to have the life that you want to have is what your aim should be. And then you let the women come to you from there, and they come as they come. Go ahead and hit the like button. We're going to stick in here for probably another 5 or 6 minutes. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Men's Mind State and Cultural Reviews. We take a analytical look at various situations uh, and phenomena happening in society, but we also roast these nonsensical women over here because why not have some fun while we're at it? So let me share. Um, this again, we're gonna hear a little bit of it and then talk some more. Of course. Yeah, of course. They're quietly confident. That's why they're writing articles begging us to want to be around them. That night marked something, not a heartbreak, but an unveiling, a sense that what I had been experiencing wasn't just misalignment, it was something broader, cultural, a slow vanishing of presence. They are mourning your presence, men. Yeah, and they're cooked. Oh, so of course they take no accountability. This is the thing that we find with most modern women. They have no accountability for anything. It's all the men. They're just vanishing away. Women literally told us to leave. They told us to leave them alone, that they didn't want us in their spaces. We shouldn't talk to them. Not only should we not talk to them at the grocery store because they're just there to buy groceries, we shouldn't talk to them at the gym, even though they show up dressed like strippers, because they're just there to work out. But we shouldn't even talk to them at bars and clubs, places that the whole reason for their existence and the whole setup is around men and women going to meet each other and connect. But no, they just want to dance in circles with their friends, or they're just having drinks and conversations with their girls at the bar. And you're dusty and you're thirsty, and why are you bothering me? So men said, check it. Yeah, we're going to go to the cigar bar with our bros. We're going to stay home and play video games and enjoy ourselves. We're not going to put up with this disrespect. What for? We're going to go do things. For me, I go fishing. You're looking for me, gone fishing. That's my one of my main things. Or typically I'm at the gym, like I was again tonight. Still got my gym gear on. Want to come in here though and get this live as I've hit 3,000 subscribers today. Thanks a lot. The 3,001 as I last looked. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the like button here. And dudes are doing what they need to do to build themselves up and position themselves live. So you position yourself in life, you'll be happier when you're on your purpose, doing things for you. You'll be happier with your life in general. You'll be more confident, stronger, and happier with yourself. And then on top of that, you'll be in, well, the next thing is you'll be in better financial position. For first of all, you won't be wasting your money on scallywags, investing your funds in these women on these dates, and some of you suckers paying their bills and all this other sucking nonsense when that money should be going into your investment account. You could be gaining interest and making money from that money instead of throwing that money away on complete liability for some useless scallywag who's been ran through by Tom, Dick, Harry, Jerry, two Marcuses, John, Jameis, three Michaels, Lenny, Lucas, Paul, George, and all the rest of the apostles and everybody else on the block. And you're spending money running behind them, doing their bidding. It's crazy. So you'll be happier with yourself. You'll have a more content life. You'll be in financial better position. That where you if you get into situations like where I got laid off last year and it still wasn't a problem for me because I had myself financially set up correctly, and then I just moved on up. I went from a dip down for a second, and then I jumped back up, making way more money. And then once I had the two contracts, I was really making money out of the frame for a quick minute. For like 6 months there to that one of those contracts, the part-time one just ended at the end of June here. But I'm still making cheddar. I'm still making more money on the other job that I still have left by itself than I've ever made on one job before, even without the extra contract. And then what you'll find is when you have all these things in place, you have leverage. Not only do you attract better women, but you find that you will have better relationships that meet your needs, not you just only doing for her. If you have everything else lined up for yourself, and you won't find yourself being a sucker, worried about, oh, is this the last best chance I'll get? No, you won't care. There's always another one around the corner. You'll know and understand that. And even if there's not, you won't be willing to take the disrespect regardless. All right, so we're doing 30-minute live for 3,000 subscribers. We're at that 30-minute mark. I appreciate anybody tapping in. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you haven't. Really appreciate y'all coming through. Check out the channel. Check out the dearth of videos. I think I provide something a little bit more than the average channel in the men's space. I really get into some analytical pieces. You can see my pieces on Kohlberger and on Diddy, where I take lessons for men, lessons for the common man from these situations. You probably won't find anything else like that out on the web. And then, like I said, we've got other videos. The most recent one today, where we're roasting this old chick trying to tell older men what they should like and what their desires should be. And we just have a good time for 8.5 minutes roasting that foolishness. So you get both some comedy and fun along with some in-depth analysis to really help you. And I think that separates men's mind state and cultural reviews from pretty much any other channel. Check me out, and I'll catch you on the next one. You're watching 2007 at Men's Mind State Cultural Reviews. Peace.